Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today in this video review, I'll be reviewing the Galaxy from German watch microbrand Achtung. Now, I hope I pronounced that correctly by the way. So the Galaxy is Achtung latest watch, and it immediately caught my attention when I saw photos of it being shared around on social media. It looked incredibly unique. Let me just give you a sneak preview here in the camera, especially in this particular rose gold case and blue dial variant. So I asked TVG, which is Achtung's exclusive distributor in Singapore, if I could have one for review, and they kindly sent one over. So let's see if it's any good. Now let's start with the build quality and specifications of the watch. So I would say that the Galaxy actually has pretty decent specifications for the price. Now first and foremost, the Achtung Galaxy uses a flat sapphire crystal. So as aforementioned many times in my reviews, I'm a big advocate of sapphire crystal due to their inherent scratch resisting properties. I always look for sapphire crystal in my modern day watches, and it adds great durability to the watch. In addition, the Galaxy has 50 meters of water resistance, so it should be robust enough for most everyday activities that doesn't involve prolonged submersion in water. On to the back, the Achtung Galaxy is powered by your ubiquitous Seiko NH35 movement. So some quick specs in case you're unfamiliar: the movement beats at 3 Hz, has 42 hours of power reserve, and is hacking. So I'm a big fan of this Seiko NH35 movement. I greatly prefer it to the Miyota 8 series movement, which is the alternative commonly seen in affordable microbrand watches. This is due to the fact that unlike the NH35, the Miyota 8 series does not hack, suffers from a stuttering second send, and in my own personal experience, it's generally more prone to accuracy problems. In contrast, this Seiko NH35 movement is as solid as they come. So I have no qualms with the movement that they're using. Unfortunately, it does look like a bare bones decorated movement. So it doesn't really have much. You don't really see much decoration of any sort here. There's not even a custom rotor, which is a shame. At this price point, I would have expected a bit more decoration, a bit perhaps at the very minimum a custom rotor. But for the movement itself, no complaints there. Now on to the leather strap. So this variant of the Achtung Galaxy comes on this beautiful blue cuff leather strap, which also features your quick release buckles for quick interchangeability. So in fact, Achtung actually provided an additional black leather strap, but so you can switch it up if you wish. But I found myself pairing the blue Galaxy on this blue leather strap for obvious reasons, right? I mean, just look at it. The blue leather strap paired with the blue Galaxy dial is beautiful. So the stitching is nice. It's a very unique design as well, how it flares out from the lugs. Yeah, it's embossed with a crocodile texture that doesn't look fake. It looks rather premium, rather nice. It feels rather nice on the wrist. There's also a rose gold buckle. That's, let me see the camera capture that. There's signed with a Achtung logo. So that being said, the leather is unfortunately still not a full grain run, so it wouldn't patina over time. But nonetheless, one of the better leather straps that I've seen at this price range. This one I'll definitely wear. On most of my watches I'll swap it out for a third party option, but I think I'll stick with this for now. Now, the Achtung Galaxy also comes with Loom. Achtung doesn't say what kind, but boy is it beautiful. So I'll just pop out a Loom Shot here so you guys can see what I mean. It's genius, I think, and I think it really does evoke the sight of the cosmos at night. You can't really tell what time it is, but as the hour ring isn't Loom, but I doubt many buy the Galaxy with legibility in mind anyway. So all in all, I'll say that the Achtung Galaxy ticks all the boxes I look for specification wise on an affordable sub US $500 watch. There's sapphire crystal, there's a Seiko, reliable Seiko movement, 2 straps with quick release functionality, and yeah, and even Loom, so what more could you ask for? But that being said, moving on to the design of the watch, no one really buys an Achtung watch. Achtung is known for their bold designs as a brand. So no one really buys an Achtung watch for the specifications. It is the Cosmos inspired design here that is really the showstopper. So for one, let me bring this closer to the camera. Look at that. There's the blue dial actually sunburst, so there's a sunburst pattern that morphs in different lighting conditions. It's really beautiful. Of course, there's a tapestry scattered across the blue dial, is like a tapestry of little stars. So I don't know if you can capture this on video, but the stars, I hope you guys can see it. The stars look like they're of varying depth. Some appear to be nearer to the base of the dial, while others appear to be floating. It's really an intriguing look that unfortunately was very hard to photograph. I'm not quite sure if it's evident here, but trust me when I say that in the matter, this is one of the most unique dials I've ever seen from a microbrand, in this microbrand sphere at least. Now the celestial theme of the watch actually extends the way one tells time. So for you guys, in case you guys couldn't tell, the moon is actually the hour's hand. The plane here at 11, close to 11, is the minute's hand. And of course, these shooting stars that sweeps across the dial indicates the second hand. So when you set the time, let me pop it up. It's more obvious thing. That's how you set the time, and you can see the stars rotating as well. So the watch uses, I think, 2 layers or 3 layers of this sort of disc, transparent disc, that has the stars and everything to conjure up this illusion of the cosmos on the wrist. Now it did take some time for me to get used to telling time on the Galaxy, but once I did, I appreciated the innovative approach that the brand has taken here. I should also highlight that technically, the minutes and hours hand are invisible, in the sense that you don't really see that stamp or that traditional hand is connected to the pinion of the dial. It reminds me of Lecoq's mystery dial, some of the coolest vintage watches out there. Now there's also a strong sense of depth. I mean, perhaps give you another angle, maybe something like this. So there's a strong sense of depth here as well due to the raised hour ring. So the hour ring here is actually raised and it surrounds the dial. The rose gold colored hour ring is satin brush, so you get a nice juxtaposition against the polished bezel as well as the sunburst blue dial. Again, I'll reiterate that Achtung Galaxy is one of the most mesmerizing dials I've ever encountered at this price point. Looking at it now in the video, my goodness, it really just pops and really just captivating. The one thing that I'll change is probably making this date window black. I think a dark date wheel would have blended in better with the dark blue dial. The white date wheel does stick out like a sore thumb a little bit. Moving on to the case, the Achtung Galaxy comes in this rose gold cushion shaped case that's reminiscent of some of your square watches size from Bell & Ross. There's actually a lot of aesthetically pleasing finishing on display. You have your alternating polished with brush and big busted textures present. So there's a lot of textures, a lot of finishing that's going on here. I also found this sort of hollow out edges of the case. This hollow out edges of the case, to be interesting, gives it a sophisticated look. While I should mention that square cases are not exactly the first, it's not exactly known for Achtung. In fact, I would say that Achtung is really known for their square cases watch. But I found this cushion shaped case to wear much better than some of the square cases on the earlier models, which were not finished well at all, I would say. There's a lot of sharp edges, feels like a brick on the wrist. This here, however, wears very nicely on the wrist, which I'll show you guys later. And again, of course, the angular nature of this cushion case reinforces the bold look of the watch. Now, moving on to the case side, you can even see that the sides of the case, this is a good angle. The sides of the case are slightly faceted, again to make it look angular, have a more streamlined proportion, so it's wear better on the wrist. The crown itself is signed with the Achtung logo and is substantially sized for easy winding. The winding is really buttery smooth, even though I don't think you guys can hear it. But winding it itself, you really get a very nice buttery smooth action with it, and it's a pleasure to wind Achtung Galaxy. Now let me just put this on my wrist and show you guys how it wears. Alright, so here is a visual of the watch. Wow, look at that. Now even though the Achtung Galaxy's 44mm width may sound big on paper, I actually find it to wear perfectly fine. As you guys can see on my 7-inch wrist, the lux doesn't overhang. It looks, it's still a big watch, don't get me wrong, but it's not as big as I think people would think. Now, as can be seen from the above photo, the watch doesn't overhang at all. It's also quite slim, I would say, actually. So it's actually slim enough to pair with your smart casual clothing. I found myself wearing this with a suit with no issues. I would say that definitely this is more wearable than some of Achtung's earlier watches, which has like a 48mm case and felt like a brick on the wrist. As compared to that, I think this is a sweet spot, for Achtung. 45mm wears very well on my wrist. Now to conclude, I would say that the Achtung Galaxy is perhaps my favourite microbrand watch of this year. It has decent specs for the price, but a highly complex and articulate look that punches, in my opinion, way above its price point. So the finishing is immaculate too, and I think the Galaxy is a marked improvement from some of Achtung's earlier models. I hope Achtung continue to make this sort of bold but still tasteful statement watches. This Galaxy has definitely converted me from a cynic to a fan of Achtung. I can't wait to see what other watches they make in the future. So for those that are interested in purchasing this watch, the Achtung Galaxy, you can use the promo code WOWSOSHIOK to enjoy 10% off Achtung watches or any other watch from TVG's online store. So again, TVG is Achtung exclusive distributor and retailer here in Singapore. So after the discount, the Achtung Galaxy will cost 648 Singapore dollars, or I think that's about 450 USD. Might be wrong, but about there. So Achtung Galaxy will just cost 648 Singapore dollars, which I think is a great price, for such a stunning and unique design. It really does pop in photographs, in video, and on the wrist. I think a stunner of the watch, and again, one of my favorite watches of this year. And alright, if you like this review, do give it a thumbs up, do share around, and as always, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Ciao!